So today I'm going to be talking to you about sitting well. So basically at this point, pretty much everyone knows that you're not supposed to slump in your chair. And I say not supposed to, I mean, this isn't a bad position to do for your body. It's just bad to be here for a long time. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows we have to sit up straight. The reason I wanted to do this video is a lot of my patients struggle with what I call reverse slumping. So with really good intentions, we try to sit up straight and we end up kind of going the other way. So my back is overly arched, and if you can see, I kind of tuck my feet under the chair, or what I call perch at the edge of your seat. So this is a position that looks better, it looks more straight, but it's actually kind of reverse slumping, because instead of just hanging on your ligaments in your spine this way, you've now gone past a neutral state and you're pushing your ribs up, tilting your pelvis forward, compressing your low back or lumbar spine, where all the nerves come out that go to your legs, in a way that's not healthy for your body, especially for long periods of time. It also doesn't let you breathe as well. Most of your lung field is actually back here in a region we call the posterior mediastinum, which is just a fancy way of saying your low back ribs. And we want to be able to put air there. And as you can see, if I kind of overarch, I lose that space. I can't even really breathe very well right here. It doesn't feel very good for me to do that. So how do we find a good sitting posture? And I think of good as being the one that's going to benefit you the most. So to do that, find a chair with a back to it. And the first thing you want to make sure of is that your hips and knees are at about 90 degrees. As you can see, for me, there's a little slope downward, so I'm not quite at 90, and I want my knees to be level with my hips. So what I'll do is just take a little book or block, put under my feet. Now I'm at 90 degrees or close to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my pelvis under a little bit. So I'm kind of tucking my tail, trying to bring my tailbone under me, just a little, so that I can maximally feel my sit bones, or those bony parts at the base of your pelvis. Once you've found that, keep that feeling of finding your sit bones, and see if you can exhale, bring your lower front ribs down and into your body, just like this. So now I can breathe into this space back here. I'm not closing that off. My rib cage is stacked over my pelvis, so my abdominals can support me. My pelvis is in a neutral position to allow for that dynamic contraction, relaxation with the breath of the pelvic floor. This is an optimal position for me to work. Having a chair like this that just touches up against that low back rib cage area allows you to feel that when you breathe, you're expanding into that space. So my breathing is just ribs down and in. Breathe in, just feeling my back move into the chair. Not that you have to breathe every breath like that, but that's a nice way to check in. If when you're sitting like this, you feel like it's hard to sustain that position, if your chair doesn't come forward like mine does, you can just put something like a towel or your jacket to fill in this space, so that you're not feeling like you have to hold yourself up the whole time. Definitely not a lumbar support, because do you see what the lumbar support does to me there? It tips my pelvis forward, pushes my ribs up, and I'm right back in that reverse slump position. So hopefully you find this video helpful, and thanks for tuning in.